MATTSORUM, has reflected on the breakup of Velvet Revolver, the band he formed in 2002 with fellow ex-Guns members Duff and Slash. Matt, Duff, Slash and guitarist Dave Kushner held an exhaustive singer search that lasted for almost 2 years, during which they issued an open invitation to the public to send in demos. Eventually, they settled on former Stone Temple Pilots singer Scott Wyland. Velvet Revolver released 2 full-length albums through RCA, Sony BMG, 2004's Contraband and 2007's Libertad, before dismissing Wyland in April 2008. Sorum discussed the formation of Velvet Revolver and the band's eventual split during an appearance on the latest episode of The Sound, Sobriety, and Success with Matt Pinfield podcast. He said,
when Velvet Revolver came along, and I started writing songs and bringing songs, because in Guns N' Roses, I didn't like walk in and have a song. Like Slash had riffs, Duff had riffs, Axl had stuff, you know. So I was just like more of an arrangement kind of guy, throwing ideas out. But with Velvet Revolver, I'm like, shit, man, I'm going to bring in some material.
Yeah.
And I brought in the first song I wrote, Set Me Free, on guitar. And I remember standing in front of Slash playing it going, fuck, I can't believe I'm playing guitar in front of Slash. He goes, oh, it's a pretty cool riff, man. And
yeah,
Scott sang on it, and then, you know, we got a record deal. And so that gave me a lot of, made me feel really good. It gave me a lot of confidence about my songwriting too. My old pal Randy Castille had passed away, Ozzy Osbourne's drummer. Phil Suzanne, played with Ozzy, calls, says, Matt, let's do a concert. Let's put something on for Randy. I said, yeah, let's do that. Well, let's get a headliner. Who can we get? Remember, we called Ozzy. Ozzy couldn't do it. Called Motley Crue, because Randy had gone on to play drums with Motley Crue. Took Tommy's place.
Yeah.
He died of cancer at a very young age, early 50s.
It was really sad.
But we wanted to pay tribute to him because he was such a badass dude. You ever meet Randy Castille?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, Randy was really cool.
He was just epic.
Nice guy, man. Yeah.
And so I go, well, what if I get Slash and Duff and we get up on stage? Because we haven't played together in like, I don't even know how long. And well, who are we going to get to sing? Slash goes, let's get that guy from Buck Cherry. I go, let me call Steven Tyler. We got Steven, Josh from Buck Cherry, and guys from Cypress Hill came. We did a kind of a rap version of Paradise City.
Yeah.
And the next day we had a band. Duff and Slash called and they're like, Matt, let's do this. And I go, okay, what are we doing? Well, let's rehearse. Let's find a singer. So we worked a little bit with Josh, but then we moved on and ended up finding Scott, and that became Velvet Revolver. When we all got back together, our big thing was we can't do this if we're going to be loaded and everyone's fucked up.
Yeah.
So we made a pact to like everyone get clean. Let's get cleaned up. We were in really great shape. I went to the gym. I was ripped. I was like the skinniest I've ever been, and I was eating egg whites. I called Dave Navarro. What diet are you on?
You're like,
egg whites,
look like you, man.
He's like, egg whites and chicken breast. I'm like, that's it? He's like, yeah. And I was like, man, I was already in my 40s. I'm like, let's see if we can just look like a great rock and roll band. Get our look together, get our songs together, number one. Get looking good. And Scott was looking lean and mean. I don't know what he was doing to look like that, but he was great. And he was in good form. He'd cleaned up. We worked with him on it. We all did. And we kind of looked at it like the Aerosmith model. You know, if we're going to continue to play rock and roll, we can't go out there like 20-year-old kids. We can't be out there every night getting fucked up playing rock. We can't. We're older guys. We got to get our shit together. We all got it together, man, and we were on fire. And I remember we were all nervous because it's the first time we'd ever gone out on the road clean like that and sober, you know.
Yeah, when you were coming out for Contraband, 2004, right? 2005,
you look back when we were like, and when we started getting, you know, the first album went triple platinum and we got 3 Grammy nominations and won a Grammy, and got a lot of money, and the wheels came off. The fucking wheels.
Yeah.
The wheels came off the machine. The train came off the tracks, and bad habits reappeared. You know, I started drinking again, drugging, the whole thing. All of us.
Yeah.
And shit got fucked up. And typically people go, well, did you spend a lot of money doing drugs? I said, no, but I made a lot of bad decisions.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah, I made a lot of bad decisions. I did stupid shit. People give you drugs, man. Come on, forget it. You can get drugs. But if I had to do it all over again, I would be like, come on, you guys, man. We're not going to get this opportunity again. This is it for us. And we imploded. Second record, I like the second record. I think it's a good record.
Libertad, yeah.
But it didn't have the angst of the first record. The first record had a youthful thing because we were hungry. We were like, we meant it. I think we meant it on the second record musically.
Yeah.
But you didn't have that fairy dust of angst.
Yeah, it was there because you guys were proving yourselves again on the first record. And it was one of those things.
You felt it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And typically when you hear that on a lot of bands, early records, even though we were older guys, typically the first couple of records are always the best records.
Yeah.
You know, the Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic, Rocks, you know, it's like, okay. So when the band broke up, you know, and then Scott passed, a lot of people were calling me to do the interviews, like Rolling Stone. I was like, no. I knew Slash wasn't going to say anything. I knew Duff wouldn't. And then you called. I'll do it. I'm going to do it with you, Matt, because you know the history of rock and roll, and you've been there, and we were friends. And I had my differences with Scott, right? And everyone knows we fought like brothers. But really what I wanted for Scott was the best for Scott. Scott was so fucking great.
Yeah.
You just wanted him to realize how great he really was. You wanted to shake him and go, Scott, you're great. And he would put off the air of like, he was the epitome of a rock star. I mean, he'd walk on stage, you go, fuck, there he is. Yeah. There's the front man. They just don't fucking make him like that anymore. When he stepped into Velvet Revolver, we were a band. You know, that was our biggest dilemma. How do we find the right singer? Obviously, he was from STP, and there's a documentary called The Rise of Velvet Revolver, and I remember Duff says, oh, Scott Wyland's available. And I go, why is that? He goes, well, STP fired him. I go, why did he get fired?
Yeah.
You know? And then I remember thinking, is that the right guy? Should we? But then when he walked in and sang, I'm like, yep, there's the guy. It's going to be fucking dangerous. It's not going to be, they're going to be a walk in the park. But no great rock and roll singer is a walk in the park. It's not that way.
Yeah.
And I've said this a million times. If you want the easy peasy guy, he ain't going to give you the show you want.
Yeah. You've had three incredible frontmen with Ian Astbury, Axl, of course, and Scott. I mean, all three of those guys, right? I mean,
I've worked with Alice Cooper, right? Alice Cooper is one of the greatest frontmen. Shows up to rehearsal on time. He's on stage exactly on time. He does everything. But that wasn't always the story with Alice Cooper. Watch the documentary, read his book. That guy went through hell and high water. And he came to a point in his life where he realized, if I don't get my shit together, I'm probably going to die, number one.
Yeah.
He cleaned up. I think he's been sober 30 years.
Almost 40, I think.
Is it?
Or not. Yeah.
A thing on Instagram the other day of him on the Tom Snyder show. Check it out. He looks emaciated. He was so high on crack and everything else. My point is, once you get to a certain point in your life and you haven't died in the rock and roll business, you know, and then there's other guys like Lemmy. I remember playing with Lemmy. We were on stage on time. Everybody was on. Lemmy drank You know, he was a drinker, but he'd sip his drink all day. He'd be sipping a Jack and Coke. He wasn't downing them. You know, it wasn't like us, you know. I'm like, wow, how does he do that? He's like, it's just kind of an even buzz.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up.